Accountability is not the space to beat ourselves up in, and it's not something to be afraid of. It is the place where we can hold to the change and the shift that we want in our lives. And I bring this up because I see quite often people who really want to make the changes, but when there's resistance, when it starts getting tough, when we don't want to do it, I'd rather sit on the couch, I'd rather eat the ice cream, I'd rather scroll, I'd rather wipe the counters down before I actually shoot a video, right? There are things that we will distract ourselves with, and we think maybe we're not being productive, but there's other ways that we think we could be being productive. But I was thinking about accountability this morning because it is one of the ways that we can anchor ourselves and stick to the changes that we want to bring in our lives. And when we don't, here's the consequences. When we don't stick to the changes that we want in our lives, our anxiety and our negative self-talk is likely to go up. And that is not helpful. That is a negative feedback loop that will just keep you stuck. So the reason I even thought about this today was I went to an early morning workout and I had signed up, I committed to my friend, and had I been on my own, I don't know if I would have even signed up for that workout. And because I care so much about her, I care so much about the commitment that I make to a business and showing up, I did show up. And it really got me thinking, okay, that's helpful information. When I commit to someone else, I follow through. And that goes with the people that I work with in my business. That goes with people who I commit to. And so I recognize that when my commitment is to another person, that accountability is much stronger for me. If it's just for myself, I can let that slide. And so when we figure out what matters to us and how we can incorporate that into our accountability, we are able to meet resistance. We are able to do the hard thing. And when we come out on the other side, we have more self-trust, we've increased confidence, and anxiety goes down because we are more present and embodied when we do what we say we're going to do, and we do it with integrity, right? We do it to the best of our ability. I didn't go to that workout this morning and rein it in, right? I was there, I was all in, and when I got out of it, I felt great, and I was so glad I showed up. Same with my work. When I commit to the things that I'm going to do, I'm all in, I'm singularly focused, I am not multitasking. I silence my phone, and I work solidly for 20 to 30 minutes, and I move through that resistance. So I meet it. I'm like, all right, hey, resistance, I see you. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to keep me safe. You're trying to keep me in the place that I've always been because this is familiar, but I'm ready for more. And I'm ready to move on and be greater and shinier and the best version of myself. And so these are ways, the accountability part, are ways for us to anchor in and figure out how we can meet that resistance so that we continue to grow and be the most fullest, authentic version of ourselves. Because that's what the world needs, my love. We need us to show up 100% ourselves in the compassion and kindness and curiosity for what's going to happen next, right? Because when we grow and we change, we create a new path and it's unknown. So be on your path, be there with curiosity, grow into your shiny self, into your full expression, and see what happens. but find your accountability to help you get there, because resistance will show up and it will try and keep you in the same place because it's safe and familiar, but that doesn't mean it's the better place for you.